I'm sure we've all been to an event, a party, and one person had a great time, and the other one, it was kind of dull. So what were they focusing on? I've got a quick exercise here. I want everybody to look around this room and look for the color brown. Just look around. There's a lot of brown. There's brown. There's a lot of brown. Look for the brown. There's more brown. Just look. There's brown. Now close your eyes. Keep your eyes closed. And I would like for somebody to tell me something that was green, blue, red. Open your eyes. Do you see more blues, greens, and reds than you did before? You know, life becomes what we focus on. And when we focus on all the brown, all the crud in life, guess what we're going to get back? You know, there's so much to life. All those beautiful blues and greens. But when we focus just on those browns, that's what we're going to experience. Napoleon Hill talks about the mind is a lot like soil. And I had the good fortune of being born and raised on a farm. And the soil has one simple job to do, and that is to go and grow a seed. You know, it doesn't know, our mind doesn't know, nor does the soil know any different between a good seed and a weed. You plant it, it's going to grow. Those seeds are like our thoughts. What we put in our mind, it develops, it grows. And all the years that I was on the farm, you know what? When we planted corn, guess what we got? We harvested corn. When we planted beans, we harvested beans. What are we planting in our minds? You know, if I walk down the street and they smile, I'm going to get smiles back. But if I walk down the street and I deck somebody or curse at them, guess what I'm going to get back? Probably some bruises. What are we giving out in our daily lives, in our relationship? The care that the staff here gives to the kids and the parents. What about the people on the highway that cut us off? You know, if we give out anger and frustration, guess what we're going to produce? That's what we're going to get back. I'd like to share a real life experience. May 9th, 2006, I was headed to work. I got T-boned. My driver's door ended up in the console, and I was in the driver's seat. I had ribs broken from 3 to 11, punctured and collapsed lung, torn diaphragm, fractured C2, concussion, and the list goes on. I woke in the hospital room, in that ICU room with those breathing tubes and feeding tubes, and guess what? I threw a party. Me, myself, and I, we had this great, fantastic pity party. Why me? Why do I deserve this? Why? I try to do good. Why? My friends, those were seeds of anger, frustration, and resentment. And fortunately, I was able to pluck those seeds out. And you know, amazing thing, if you take an acorn and plant that little acorn, it starts to grow. Deep, the roots grows deep in the soil, and it becomes very sturdy. It stands all kinds of tests nature gives at it, wind, cold, drought. A little seed that I planted while I was there having that pity party was, what have I got to be grateful for now? And it didn't take too long. I moved, and all those broken ribs, believe me, I could feel it. And I thought to myself, well, I'm alive. My wife and my kids were there, and friends come to visit. I've got a lot of people around me that love me. the caregivers. The list started going on and on and on. Just like that seed was taking root. And it just got so strong, that appreciation for what I did have. The doctor released me, and I'm at home. I love to run. My daughter says, Daddy, I'm going to go down to the Riverfront Trail and run. Washington, Missouri, that Riverfront Trail is just awesome. That's where I always like to go to, to train for a marathon. And I said, Jess, I'm going to go with you. And she goes, oh, Daddy, what are you going to do? You going to sit on the park bench and talk to people? Now, I've been known to do that too. But I was in a neck brace, and my shuffle was about this fast, and that's when I was in a hurry. And she said, Daddy, she said, what are you going to do? I said, I'm going to train for my marathon. And she goes, oh, Dad. I said, no. I envisioned and seen myself back out there running. And my goal that first time out was just to go from the parking lot to a park bench that was a short distance down the trail. Well, folks, I made it past that park bench and I made it into the wood line. 2 days later, I went down again and I made it further into the wood line. And 2 days after that, I made it to the half-mile marker and back. 4 months later, I find myself back in the hospital. My xiphoid process got fragmented in the accident, and it was growing scar tissue, and they had to remove it. Well, after the surgery, I'm laying in the hospital bed, and both surgeons came to pay me a visit. And I just sensed they had something to share with me. The one surgeon started in, and they said, Ralph, we have absolutely no medical explanation. You've healed as if that accident was 18 to 24 months, not just 4 months. It's your attitude. No, it was that seed of gratitude. What have I got to be grateful for now? You know, after that, it was hard. Because that surgery, it took its toll on me, having that many surgeries that close together. I went out to run, and I just didn't have it. And yes, I started to get frustrated, and to a point where, forget it, I'm not going to do it. But then, that dream of going back out and doing another half marathon. October 2011, I finally got up to doing another half marathon. With that punctured collapsed lung, the ability for me to run is, what I had to do is do run walks, because I was trying to run the full distance, but I just couldn't do it. I just didn't have the air capacity to do it. But I asked the question, how can I do this and enjoy it? In doing research, I found a way to do it. Another quote I really enjoy, and that is the one by Ralph Waldo Emerson. Well, he's been accredited for it. What lies behind us, or what lies before us, is tiny, tiny to compare what lies within us. My friends, there's greatness in each and every one of you. And those little guys, oh, they're that energy, is just, there's just so much there's so much greatness in there when we start searching for it. And I've got another little challenge. I would ask everybody to stand up and be arm length apart. Just do the arm lengths apart. Now what I want you to do is put your hand and point straight in front of you. Just straight out in front of you. Put your right hand up and point straight in front of you. And when I count to 3, I want you to turn as far to the right as you can comfortably. 1, 2, 3. Now look where you're pointing. Okay? Bring it back. Now put it down. Close your eyes again. And with your eyes closed, I want you to imagine you raising your right hand. I don't want you to do it, but I just want you to imagine this. Raising your right hand, pointing your finger, and on the count of 3, I want you to turn 1/3 further. 1, 2, 3. You don't actually turn, but just in your mind, and bring yourself back. Rest your hand by your side. Now I want you to imagine, without raising your hand, just imagine yourself raising your hand, pointing your finger, and this time I want you to imagine yourself going 2/3 further. 1, 2, 3. Okay, now come back around. Rest your hand. Final time. I want you to imagine yourself raising your right hand, pointing your finger, and when I count to 3, this time I want you to imagine yourself going all the way around. 1, 2, 3. Okay, bring yourself back around. Now open your eyes. Now this time I want you to actually raise your right hand and point your right finger out. And on the count of 3, I want you to turn as far as you can comfortably. 1, 2, 3. Now look where you turn. You can come back. Everybody pretty much turned a lot further than